The conflict over ultra-Orthodox enlistment into Israel's military is a contentious one, with many still bitterly embroiled in debate. While many see that community resisting the army draft with more and more extremism, the truth is that Haredi enlistment is today actually at an all-time high. In fact, just this past week, over 50 ultra-Orthodox soldiers were sworn into the elite paratroopers brigade. Well, aside from forced conscription, the IDF is now actually working on a marketing campaign specifically geared at increasing Haredi enlistment into the army. And with me here to discuss this is Rabbi Ariel Konstantyn, the founding rabbi at the Tel Aviv International Synagogue. Rabbi, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
So first I want to ask, how do you feel about ultra-Orthodox enlisting into the army, period?
I think, first of all, it's a wonderful thing. I think that there's a real desire amongst the younger Haredi to integrate into society and to be able to also burst out of the cycle of poverty, because what happens is that as long as they're studying in yeshiva, they have to be enlisted in the yeshiva and get a draft exemption. And as long as they have that draft exemption, they can't work or attend university or promote a career. So what ends up happening is that through the critical, vital ages that they can really develop a career and a future for themselves, and they want to continue yeshiva study and study in a university or pursue a career, they can't because of this draft exemption while they're studying in yeshiva. And that's forcing this cycle of poverty that is very much weighing on that community. And many of the Haredi community are very much desirous to break out of that and to be able to maintain their lifestyle while yet advance their family career and career.
Sure. Well, also with the army, I mean, as I understand it, young people, it's also an equalizing mixture of people from all over the country to meet new people, and you make connections that sometimes leads to careers or otherwise, just because, yeah, you're meeting people that you never met before.
Right.
But you brought up something interesting, which is we're seeing a lot of young people who do want to draft and who do want to go do this and break out. So is there a disconnect between maybe religious leaders who seem very vocal about resisting the draft versus the 18 to 24-year-olds who want to do it? Is there a disconnect there?
No question. I think, first of all, there's an issue of power. When you keep people in an insular bubble, you're able to control how they think, how they move, and what they do, and they can influence that with that power. However, once they go out and break out of that bubble, they're in this equalizer, like you mentioned, and meeting people of different types, that makes it a lot more scary for the leadership that they cannot necessarily maintain what they think is the necessary status quo to enable that status quo to continue. So that's a very big fear for the leadership. I think it also shows a weakness in the leadership, because if you instill and inculcate with good education that you believe in what you believe in and you can withstand the winds and tests of general society and return to be strong in who you are, that shows a true strong philosophy like you have in the Hesed Yeshivot and the modern Orthodox, where they're able to withstand, let's say, the temptations or the winds of secular society, be able to stand in both worlds and maintain their Jewish culture and identity.
I guess that's the real fear that leaders have, is that they're going to go into the army, meet people that are not ultra-Orthodox, or be with women, be doing in situations that may challenge the strict religious code of their community, and then maybe never come back to it. I wonder if there's any studies or numbers done about people who do enlist, ultra-Orthodox who do enlist, whether they return to the community or whether they evolve from it, go a different way. I
can speak from personal experience. From I do have Haredi family they have a son who did go to the army, and rather than estranging them, which many do, unfortunately, there's the concept of Chayalim Bodadim, the lone soldier. That it's not just those who are coming to Israel without a family. There are also those who are estranged from their families because if you're going to enlist, we will have nothing to do with you. We'll sit Shava and you don't exist. They didn't go that path. Luckily, they embraced it. They said they put certain conditions on it. He went to the army religious, and he returned from the army religious. And I think that more of that is becoming evident to the families. I think hopefully they'll more see that if you bring a proper education, the people will come back as you wish them to be and enable them to advance their lives.
Sure. Well,
and eliminate one of the most divisive issues in Israeli society because of this equalizing force. We're saying, okay, you're not participating, we're risking our lives, and you're not. What hurts me even more are those who don't even pray for the benefit of the soldiers. Not only are they not serving, they're not praying for their benefit. And hopefully that there is a tide that is changing, an appreciation for those who are serving, and even a desire to serve themselves.
Sure, that's undoubtedly one of the biggest internal, I think, dilemmas that the Israeli society has faced. The people who do and don't draft, that's a whole other topic. Either way, we'll probably talk about another time. Rabbi, thank you.
My pleasure.
Of course.